is I'm going to play through this arpeggio, which is just a chord played in a linear fashion, one note at a time. It works better on bass. Bass is hard to hear chords. So the notes we have are G, B, D, and F sharp. So if I go to the third, B, and I play that arpeggio, it's going to have the exact same three of the same chord tones. B, D, F sharp, and then A. So it's only one different note, and if I'm thinking of the G, A is the ninth. So they're all connected harmonically. If I decide to go to the sixth, and I want to substitute that sixth chord, well, I jump up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the E, and I'm going to play E, G, B, D, B, G, E. So other than the E, that triad is the same as that triad right there. So that's why chord substitutions work, because just because one is major and the other is minor, it has nothing to do with it. That's what makes them so cool. Everyone else in the band is playing or implying a major chord, and you come along and bring a slightly higher minor chord tonality over that. And what that really helps to do with is the blues. The blues has that magic blue note in between the minor third and major third, whereas there's that push and pull between those two tonalities. So this all comes back to blues. It comes back to jazz. When Joe Pass was talking about the fact that there is no two, okay, there's no two chord. What he meant and what he was implying was this. The reason that there is a two chord is to set up the five. All chords generally move in the progression of a fourth. That's the harmonic progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. So chords tend to move up a fourth, down a fourth, up a fourth, and so on. That's the harmonic gravity and the cycle of fourths. So if G is our root, right, and that's our key, and we want to go up here to this 5, but we want to play something in between, how can we set it up? Well, there's two different ways to do it. Let's go with the blues, the original way. The blues way to do it would have been to go to the 4, because that's the, right? Right? It just sounds right. It wants to go up a fourth, and then go up a fifth. So we get, like, basic outline of a blues, very rough, rudimentary, but that 1, 4, 5 chord structure. So what makes it jazz, other than a little bit difference in the rhythm and the melodies, but it's an improvisational call and response music based on this 1 and this 5 and this 4. But as we notice here with our paper, if I have a 4, I can replace that with a 2. So jazz is just educated blues. Somebody who knew that, instead of playing the 4 here, I could replace it with a 2 and get a different tonality. So here's the 4. And here's the 2. Again, they share 3 chord tones. Basically the same tonality, one's major, one's minor. So instead of moving from now we're going to move 1, 2, 3, up to the 2, up to the 5, back to the 1. The 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. that's heard in a billion pop tunes and a billion jazz tunes throughout the 20th century, the 2-5-1. And then if people wanted to get even fancier and say, okay, well, how can I lead into the 2? Well, what leads into the 2? What's a fourth away from the 2? The 6th. Okay, so now I'm going to play 6, 2, 5, 1. Then how can I push that even further? What leads into the 6th? What's a fourth away from the 6th? The 3. Well, it sounds great because the 3 and the 6 and the 1 are all the same tonality. So I'm not going very far out. I'm moving up higher tonally from the 1 to the 3 to the 6 up there, but harmonically I'm not really going anywhere. It's still the same chord tones. So 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. That's a 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. That's a typical jazz chord progression for a major chord progression. And anywhere in there, I can substitute. If it's my turn to solo and everyone else comes in on the 1, right? Everyone else comes on that 1 and that tonality, and I want to sound different than a bass player. I want to do something more melodic. I'll come in on the 3. So everybody else comes up the 1 playing major, and I'll come in playing Spanish minor, Phrygian. Moving from that 3 to the 6, the natural minor. And then that's going to go to the 2, the jazz minor. So you have all these wonderful jazz or minor tonalities that fit together that want to resolve back to the 1. But in the end, that's all there is the 1 and the 5. There is no 2. Sometimes there's a 4, but pretty much chord substitution exists because they're all the same chord. So next time I'll make another lesson and we'll talk about minor tonalities. We'll talk about this little bad boy right there and when to use that. But that's enough theory for one night. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good night.